Hey guys! So I've got my brother's washing machine back up here for repair, and this time he says the active water jet is leaking. Here's an overview of the control panel. So here's the on and off that controls the active water jet, and as you can see, it's leaking. But when you turn it on, it works perfectly. Then when you turn it back off, it goes back to a drizzle. So we're going to tear it down and see what's causing it. So to gain access to the active water jet, we need to remove this row of Phillips head screws. Now you just want to pull on this corner. Whoa! Now here's an overview of the water rail. And you got the hot water inlet valve with the coil. And then you got two cold inlet valves. And then you got the active water jet valve. And that's the one giving us trouble. When one of these coils are activated, like I'll hit the active jet, you can feel it click on and off to know if it's working. You can do that on any of these valves. That way we don't need to do an electrical check. So I need to remove this coil, and the valve has a shaft that runs up through the center of the coil which pulls and opens the valve. And this little procedure I'm about to perform can be done on many brands, makes, and models that have this style valve. Now you get a couple screwdrivers and just pry up nice and evenly. And don't put it on the bind because you risk breaking this valve stem. Now we need to remove this stem, and you're going to need a pair of needle nose pliers that are long enough to clear the stem and then sharp enough to go in these little noogies. And then you just turn it and it unscrews. Now you want to be careful when you pull it out. There's a little piston right there with a rubber seal, and then a rubber gasket in there with a diaphragm. And it should just pop right up out of there. Alright. Oh wow. There's some gunk and grime in there covering these holes. Looks like it might be some silt. So I'm going to go in, wash it out under the water faucet, and then hit it with compressed air, and then we'll reinstall it. Get inside here, open that up, get the water in there through that groove and stuff, and then we'll blow it out. Oh, look at that. That'll really work good. Pressurize it. Look at that. That's awesome. I pressurized the unit. You can't get no better than that. Probably don't even need air at this point, but we'll do it anyway. You see it's got little holes around the perimeter, and then one in the center. And then you got your piston. This valve consists of a piston, and then it has a little spring behind it. So you put the little spring in, and that rubber tip seals against the diaphragm, closing the valve. So if we just put this little lip around there, that'll hold it to reinsert. Alright, ready to reinstall. You see the valve action there? And that's all held in place, so you can just tip it up for here like that and start screwing it in. Use needle nose pliers to snug it up. Then for the final crank, we get in these noogies and crank it down. Now we need to reinstall the coil on the stem. I'm not going to use any type of lubricant because like if you was to use petroleum, that might distort the plastic. Now we want to line up with these notches, or it won't go the whole way down. Now it's ready for a test. Okay, I've got the water turned back on. As you can see, it's not leaking. Oh my God! Alright, now we'll put the cover back on. I just noticed before putting the cover back on, I installed that upside down. Although it still worked the same, I'm going to need to flip it. Alright, time to go bye-byes back to my brothers. Any questions, comments, leave down below. Well, one thing I'd like to add is the procedure I did to this valve can be done to any of these other valves. And if that fails, just replace the entire bank of valves. However, they do sell a rebuild kit for these valves, but it's a little bit pricey. One more thing. Not only does the procedure I performed fix a leaky valve, it can also fix a valve that stays on, a valve that will not open. Thanks for watching.